I'm going to tell you the best legends, the worst legends, and everything in between. I'm Alrik of Awesome, and this is your Apex Legends Season 23 tier list. Haha, let's get into it. Starting off our Season 23 legend tier list, we're going to start with the Control legend. Now, we're going to start with Caustic. To be honest, Caustic just doesn't hit like he used to. You can now shoot the Caustic barrel, so it's a little bit easier to push a Caustic building, especially with somebody like Fuse. He's also unplayable on one of the best ranked maps, Stormpoint. Big old body, big open map, less buildings to play in. He's just sucks on that map. Little quality of life changes like being able to look at traps and remove them in team-friendly colored barrels. It just isn't enough to keep him above B tier. Next up, we're going to do Catalyst, and she is for sure the best of the controller legend. She's able to rebuild doors after they're destroyed, and that's crucial as the ring gets smaller or you're just kind of stuck in a building. Her spikes control a lot of space, you throw them out there, and her wall, of course, is a great rotational tool. If you pair her with a Lifeline or a Newcastle, it's going to be a dangerous situation. Super good on maps like Broken Moon, which is an improved ranked map, so all in all, not the best for pubs, excellent for ranked, S tier. Wattson is probably the hardest legend to learn in the game, maybe Crypto. She gets pegged into this like defensive only category, but I'll be honest, I've been just fenced in the open, just mid-fight, and it sucks. She also counters Fuse hard. Her ult is a powerhouse, deflecting nades, Gibby ults, bang ults, you name it, it's not getting through. Her main drawback, honestly, is just she's hard to play, and in pubs, people don't want to play that defensive, campy style. You don't have to, you just have to learn her. So she's A tier. Finishing out the Control legends is Rampart. She has gotten a lot better with quicker placements of her walls. Her ult comes so fast, so you're just mowing people down really quickly. She's really fun. There's not a lot to say about Rampart. A great defensive legend, a little bit easier to push because all of her tag is destroyable. But hey, a lot of fun for pubs. Just run around with the minigun and run people down. We'll put her in A tier. Coming up next, we're going to do our Skirmisher legends who all have the passive of being able to scan care packages for whatever that's worth, I guess, if you want to know what comes through or what's going to be in it. And we'll start with everybody's favorite sweat lord, Wraith. It's not season 0 anymore, people. Wraith is just mid. Pathfinder helps teams rotate better and gets the ult quicker. Her tactical takes way too long, especially with OG Apex in the mix. You see it was instant and now it's too slow. I'll say it again. You like the idea of Wraith. A lot of you have invested a lot of time in her. Resting on season 1 laurels, Wraith is fine, but she definitely is not good. Oh, she's C tier, by the way. Next up, we're going to do Revenant, the murder machine, an aggro player's dream. If you're an aggro player who makes bad choices and a little sweaty, then Revenant's for you. Nerfs to his ultimate take him down a tiny bit, but let's be honest. The overshield gives you free HP, and the shadow pounce is pretty OP. You jump on that legend that you got just 1 HP with a marker to show you exactly where they ran. Pounce in after you got that person really low with a marker that shows you exactly where they ran, or you push the wrong bald Wraith and you just shadow pounce out because you got folded. Rev is the best skirmisher legend. We're gonna throw him in A tier. Next up is Octane, and if you know me as the tap strafe guy, you know that I love Octane, but he sucks, and he has sucked for a very long time, since like Rampart Octane days, or Rev. It's been a long time. Terrible perks and movement at the cost of HP is not a good trade-off. Octane is super fun, good for aggressive legends, but he doesn't have a lot of team utility either. One of the most fun legends, but terrible. Let's do our newest legend, Alter. Her tactical can be used to get in jams, push a fight, or run away and get out of a fight. Just beware, they're probably going to follow you. One of the problems is her passive. Being able to loot remotely just isn't that impressive or necessary, but I suppose it can be used in late game situations, but you can't get shield swaps, so maybe ammo or bats. And the ult is very situational. Ideally, you would run into a fight and place it down so you can back out if need to. But the reality is you need to be able to place it just in better ways. You should probably pair her with a Lifeline or a Newcastle, so when you do use her ult and go into the void and return back to the portal, so Lifeline can just quickly res. There's nothing bad about her, she's just mid. Fun, but just mid. So we're going to put her in C tier, right in the middle. Next up is Horizon. Her and R99s used to be married, like peanut butter and jelly, ramen noodles, ranch, and hot sauce. Wait, y'all don't do that? Well, the R99 is in the care package, but she's still good and she's A tier. Over time, she's been nerfed substantially, but she has the best passive in the game. Her Grav Lift remains one of the best tacticals, especially when you take damage, you pop it up, pop a bat, pop a cell, whatever, and you probably get a free reset. Not as useful in ranked, but super aggressive and super fun for pubs. We'll keep her in A tier. Next up is Pathfinder. He used to be so bad. No real passive, a big ass hitbox. Using his zipline with the ability to take reduced damage is a great rotational tool for rank. And let's not forget the man scan. Pathfinder has a huge hitbox, so using the survey beacon to see where teams are and they aren't is huge, because he doesn't need to take damage because it's easy to shoot him. Of course, he's great for pubs, grappling in and out of danger, making insane plays. Pathfinder's just one of the best. Now he's one of the best legends in Apex, and honestly, he's S tier. Then last but not least, Valkyrie. Listen, she's S tier. We don't need to really talk about it that much. She used to be really good. Then people thought Evac Towers replaced her, which they didn't. Yeah, she took a nerf. A movement character similar to Pathy that can change verticality on the drop of a dime. Go up, go down. It's easy. She's got a jetpack. She can scan people that are outside in the open or in buildings. That's OP. She is an evac tower, so when you rotate, you know exactly what buildings to go to, where to land, and where not to. That's huge in rank. And that's all I need to say, right? Right? Moving on. Before we get started with our Assault Legends, where would you put your favorite character and why? Comment below, and if you're enjoying the video, of course, hit the like button. Starting off our Assault class is one of the worst legends in the game, Ballistic. Old man, terrible coats, and a bad kit. The sling is dumb. I don't care what anybody says. Ballistic is terrible, useless in ranked. You often forget to have or use the sling weapon. The smart pistol is avoidable. And if you want unlimited ammo, just pick Loba. F tier. F. From the worst legend to one of the best legends. She's also one of the most well-rounded legends in Apex. Play offensively or defensively. Now, some past nerfs have brought her down just a bit, but she's pretty close to an auto pick for ranked, pubs, and comp. Use the smoke to rotate, to get into fights, to get out of fights, to block someone's vision from shooting while healing. It's just a great kit. Her ult, it doesn't do much damage, but it is a good tool to enter a third party or a good rotational tool when you're kind of stuck. Double time also is one of the best passives in the game. Bang is just good. So we'll put Bang in S tier. Next up is Fuse, and he is definitely S tier. He already counters most control legends, but given Lifeline's changes, he also is a good counter to her as well. Oh, by the way, his ult can scan people. And by the way, you can use him as not only an assault legend to push fights, but you can also use him to get ring information with one of his perks. Fuse is a nuisance and damn good in season 23. Mad Maggie used to be trash, but she's really good now. The cover buster that forces you to leave cover, hitting that shield cell behind a box is not happening with her. We'll put her in A tier. She's taking a small step back because her Maggie Ball doesn't penetrate Gibby Bubbles anymore, but her Maggie Ball is not only destructive with the perk of using it as a thermite at the end, but it's also good for things like rotations and entering fights. By the way, her shotgun perk is stupid, but seriously, Maggie is really good. In closing out the Assault Legends is Ash. His Watson, one of the best players in the history of Apex, tells me that she's good. He might even have said she's OP. I don't see it. She's just good, and I'm gonna put her in B tier. Her snare is pretty good in close quarters, kind of useless in open space. In shotguns being meta, the massive and the EVA 8, which you definitely should be using, definitely help. But her ult just doesn't go far enough. Yes, you can push on close fights when you're off a knot, but it doesn't go far enough. And when that buff happens, she will move up the ladder. Next up is our recon legends, and we'll start with Crypto, who took a step back. He was overpowered last season, but we'll put him in A tier. Respawn decided that the drone taking damage and him flickering when in off the grid mode was a healthy nerf. What do you guys think? but that doesn't mean that he isn't strong, especially for rank. The higher you go up, the more cryptos you should see. Now, he doesn't lend to more aggressive play styles, but a crypto EMP is a really good way to enter a fight. The scans that you get from his drone just picking up people are huge, especially mid-fight or to detect incoming third parties. Like, honestly, as soon as you drop, the first thing you should be doing is just throwing out your drone the second you drop. And don't forget, respawn beacons are now instantaneous now. So being able to not only pick up banners remotely, but res remotely can be huge, especially when you're down to just one person. Crypto isn't OP anymore, but he's still pretty damn good. Next up, we're gonna go with the easiest legend to play and learn in Apex Legends. I'll put Bloodhound in A tier, and if you're just starting out, like you're just picking up Apex Legends, play Bloodhound first. His scan is easy to use, and it gives valuable information to you and your teammate. Threat vision makes people easier to see, especially like on maps like Storm Point, where there's a lot of oranges and stuff like that. And don't forget the man scan. His ult gives you increased speed while being able to see everything in threat vision all the time. So we'll put Bloodhound firmly in A tier. Vantage is, dare I say, the best solo queue legend in Apex. And let's be honest, a lot of us solo queue. Oh, she's A tier. If you disagree, comment below right now. Tell me why. Excellent for rank because not only can you scan the next ring, say it with me, the man scan. You also get versatility with Vantage because you will always have a sniper. So you can have close range, mid range, as well as long range. And her sniper is basically aimbot. It's cheating. Her sniper also gives valuable information like team size, fields that they have, which will dictate pushes. It's also a third-party menace. Like if you're just far away, you just watching two teams fight, you should be able to just steal kills. Her movement, it's not the best. It's not the best, okay? But it is movement, which offsets her big old hitbox. A tier, best solo queue legend, don't at me. In closing out our Recon Legends is probably the worst legend in the game, Seer. We are so far from the Seer meta that his Wattson fueled like 2 years ago. Everything Seer can do, Bloodhound can do better. His ult has been decimated. It's still solid, but it's just not as good as it used to be where you just had visuals on everything that was in it, where they were going. And honestly, you have to be a little bit better at the game, especially on roller, more precise to use his tactical. Save yourself some trouble and just play Bloodhound or Crypto. And last but not least is support legends, because support legends got huge buffs. So no matter whether they're good or bad, they all can heal 50 HP with just one sale. Syringes heal about half of your health. I'm not sure the exact number, but support legends are almost an auto pick. They did get a bit of a nerf because now all legends can craft banners. The difference is support legends will get banners as well as a respawn beacon. And as I mentioned, they come down almost instantaneously. It used to be like a 30-second process. Now it's just like 8. Huge buff for support legend. And we'll start with Gibby. We're going to throw him in S tier, and Gibby might have gotten better buffs than Lifeline. And I say that because Lifeline was still good last season. Gibby was irrelevant, let's be honest. His bubble cooldown was reduced from 30 to 17 seconds, which that's just crucial in a fight. Crypto EMPs and Maggie Balls do nothing to his bubble now. Faster movements with shotties is a little gimmicky, but you're going to see people running Mastiffs and Evas. Say it with me now. Mastiffs and Evas. So you know what that means? Bubble fights! I'm not good at them, but they're still fun. I normally lose them. Gibby definitely wins most improved legend in season 23. Mirage is pretty mid, but we'll put him in C. He got a huge quality of life change where his ultimates wouldn't show the health bar, but the real one would, so you knew who it was. But that's not a buff. It can be a little fun to just Invis-res amongst chaos and remember you're cloaked for 2.5 or 3 seconds when you run away. But Mirage is mostly fun, and honestly, that's it. He's not very useful anymore for ranked since all characters can craft banners. The support buff with shield cells is fine for him, but Mirage is just in the middle. And honestly, that's okay because again, he used to be an F tier legend, but Mirage is definitely the worst of the support legend. Next up is Loba, and she is an excellent solo queue legend. So we're gonna put her in A tier. Most people solo queue, so having a Loba doesn't require communication. It's just free loot for everybody. Let's be honest. We all understand the black market. Just loot, steal, yoink stuff. Perks aren't that good either. But again, free loot, and one of them actually expands the radius of the black market. And honestly, because she's a support character, the buffs to syringes and shield cells are going to be perfect. You should never run out. The only thing you'll probably have trouble finding is bats for your teammates. But again, free loot. One thing she's really good at is getting in-game resources. Top 5 squads, everybody's just kind of waiting for final ring. You can get stuff like I did here and with a Havoc. That can be very useful. I won't say much about her bracelet because it's fine. And again, movement is movement, and her passive is, I don't know what that is. To me, it's just stuff on the screen that I don't need to see, but Loba is A tier. Conduit is also A tier. Conduit already regenerates shields for herself and her team, so being able to regen 50 health quickly is huge when trying to get back into fights, taking advantage of damage, taking advantage of knocks. Her ult was always meh, but you know what? It does control space and deal damage, but any legend that can heal themselves without having to stop the fight will always be good. Newcastle's a top 3 legend. So we got Valk, we got Newcastle, and we'll name the other one in a minute. But this season, he's definitely S tier. And I hate to tell you guys this, but a lot of people are going to be running Newcastle and Lifeline. It's already being complained about. If you're not running them, you're at a severe disadvantage, and honestly, it's kind of annoying. His mobile shield no longer takes damage. You can add speed to his res, and you power that with a wall that deflects ordnance. You have a powerhouse. Any map, he's fine. He's good pubs, ranked, Broken Moon, Kings Canyon, it doesn't matter. You can use his mobile shield to run through space, or you can use it to hold up in buildings with a wall blocking off a door. I've been waiting for this. The best legend in the game, definitely S tier, is Lifeline. Yes, over Bang 2. As season 23 continues on, or until they nerf her, if they do nerf her, you're going to see that playing without a lifeline is almost impossible. A complete rework of the character, so there's no more care package. But it's fine because you use those for bats. Now you get 50 HP with cells, which are easy to find. Her ultimate's been replaced with like a circular dome that has no roof of some kind. It doesn't take incoming damage. You can throw nades into it, but guess what? You get fast heals in that dome. It's crazy. And not to mention, your teammate takes damage way over there. Similar to Conduit, you can just throw the freaking drone at them and heal them very quickly. Oh yes, and she flies. She be holding the thing, she flies. Movement is king in Apex Legends, or in this case, the queen, because she is #1. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I'll be back soon with a gun tier list, and I'll see you guys next time. Ha ha!